Commander Elsa Rodriguez had seen her share of impossible things during her 15 years with the Terran Exploration Corps. She'd witnessed gas giants that sang in harmonious frequencies, crystalline forests that grew in zero gravity, and sentient nebulae that painted stories across the cosmos. But nothing, absolutely nothing, had prepared her for the tiny, scale-covered creature currently chirping at her from inside a makeshift incubator aboard the TES Horizon's Edge. "Status report, Dr. Helen," Elsa said, trying to maintain her professional composure while the baby dragon, because that's exactly what it was, despite every scientific principle screaming otherwise, wrapped its diminutive claws around her. Finger. Dr. Helen Vasquez, the ship's xenobiologist, looked up from her readings with barely contained excitement. "Vital signs are stable, Commander. Body temperature is normalized and it's showing healthy appetite responses. The cellular structure is, well, it's remarkable. Silicon-carbon hybrid with metallic trace elements that shouldn't be able to exist in a living organism, yet here we are." The creature, no larger than Earth's housecats, had iridescent scales that shifted from deep emerald to brilliant gold depending on the angle of light. Its wings, currently folded against its back, appeared gossamer thin, yet strong enough to generate lift in the station's artificial gravity. But it was the eyes that got to Elsa. Large, intelligent amber orbs that seemed to study her with an awareness far beyond what any newborn should possess. "How did something like this end up floating in a debris field?" Elsa asked, gently stroking the dragon's head. It purred, actually purred, like a content kitten. "The wreckage suggests a transport vessel," Helen replied, pulling up holographic displays. "Unknown origin, but the metal composition indicates technology we haven't encountered before. This little one was in some kind of stasis pod when we found the wreck. The interesting part is the pod's life support systems. They were designed specifically for this species' physiology." Elsa frowned. "Designed by whom? We haven't encountered any spacefaring civilizations in this sector." "That's just it, Commander. The technology isn't alien." Helen's voice dropped to an awed whisper. "It's human. Specifically, it matches the technological signatures of the lost colony ship New Camelot that disappeared 300 years ago." The implications hit Elsa like a meteor strike. The New Camelot had been humanity's most ambitious colonization effort, carrying 50,000 settlers to establish a new world beyond the galactic rim. They'd vanished without a trace, becoming one of space exploration's greatest mysteries. "You're suggesting humans created dragons?" Elsa asked, unconsciously protective as the baby dragon nuzzled against her palm. "Not created, discovered, raised, possibly even partnered with," Helen corrected. "Look at this." She manipulated the holographic display, showing genetic sequences. The dragon's DNA contains markers that are definitely terrestrial in origin, but they've been enhanced, strengthened. Someone spent generations perfecting this species. The baby dragon chose that moment to demonstrate exactly how enhanced it was. With a tiny sneeze, it breathed a small puff of flame that singed the air but somehow didn't burn Elsa's skin. Instead, she felt a warm, comfortable tingle. "Incredible," Helen breathed. "The flame contains complex hydrocarbons that interact benignly with human biology. It's almost as if they were bred to be companions to humans," Elsa finished. The dragon had curled up in her palm, using her body heat to supplement its own as it dozed. Over the following days, more evidence emerged. The wreckage contained fragments of human settlements, artwork depicting humans and dragons living in harmony, and most remarkably, personal logs from colonists describing their relationship with the Sky Children, indigenous dragons they'd found on their new world. The final piece of the puzzle came when Helen discovered the dragon's most extraordinary trait. When agitated or excited, it didn't just breathe fire. It generated a low-frequency harmonic that resonated with human brainwaves, producing a calming, almost euphoric effect. "They're not just companions," Helen explained to the senior staff. "They're empathically linked to humans. The colonists didn't just find dragons, they found creatures that could literally share their emotional states, provide comfort, even potentially extend human lifespans through bioharmonic resonance." Commander Elsa held the baby dragon, whom the crew had nicknamed Spark, during the briefing. The creature had grown noticeably in just a week, its scales now shimmering with new colors that seemed to reflect Elsa's own moods. "So what happened to the colonists?" asked Lieutenant Morrison, the ship's tactical officer. Helen's expression grew somber. "Unknown, but given the debris pattern and the fact that this little one was in emergency stasis, I suspect they were evacuating. The pod was programmed to seek out human vessels. They sent their dragons to find us," Elsa realized. Even in their final moments, they thought about preserving what they'd discovered. Spark chirped and breathed a tiny puff of what could only be described as rainbow flame, earning coos from the entire senior staff. The sight of battle-hardened space marines going soft over a baby dragon would have been amusing under other circumstances. "Recommendation, Commander?" Helen asked. Elsa looked down at Spark, who gazed back with those impossibly intelligent eyes. In that moment, she understood what the new Camelot colonists had discovered. Not just a new species, but a new form of partnership that elevated both humans and dragons beyond what either could achieve alone. "We're going to find them," she declared. "And we're going to learn everything we can about raising dragons properly, because something tells me humanity's greatest adventure isn't behind us. It's just beginning." Spark purred in agreement, and for the first time in her career, Commander Elsa Rodriguez found herself looking forward to the impossible becoming routine. After all, who was she to argue with a dragon?